Well, hi, Hernan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Dorian. It's nice to finally get to meet you. I've heard a lot of really great things about you and what you're doing for the NXT GEN Podcast. So I'm just excited to be here now, like officially, share a little bit about my story. So thank you.
No, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. I mean, yeah, it's so great to finally meet. I was going to say face to face, but I guess more so like a camera to camera thing.
You virtually, right?
With all the talking we've been doing. But yeah, thank you so much for talking with us today. First things first, can you just introduce yourself, a little bit about your background, and a little bit about your business?
So my name is Hernan Sanchez. I proudly serve as the Director of Partnerships and Strategy at Pitch Labs. I incorporate over 15 years of education and leadership experience working with just nonprofits and school districts. I worked as an English language arts and ELD teacher, serving just middle schoolers and working with our English language development and newcomer students. And my partner and I just officially created our own LLC company right through the pandemic. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about what that process was like and what that looks like for us now.
Yeah, and just it's Lumiere Lane, right? That's how it's pronounced.
It is.
Okay,
it is.
Cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't mispronouncing anything for the whole hour interview. So starting off, can you give us the quick origin of Lumiere Lane? Where did the idea for this come from? Where did the name come from? Is there any certain experience that led you to here? I'm just so curious.
So I guess during the pandemic and just being stuck at home, my partner Edgar and I, we just realized how much we love having a space that smells really good, and we've always been that couple that literally drops hundreds of dollars at Bath and Body Works and at Target buying candles, wax melts, and aromatic sprays. So then just one day, my partner literally just said, we should start our own business, candle business, and it honestly just clicked from there. We're both super business oriented and share that entrepreneurship mindset. So we jumped right in and we formed an LLC, started researching vendors, and we just began with small batch orders for our friends and family, which then led us to just sell our products at open air markets in downtown Los Angeles, Palm Springs, and just throughout Southern California as well.
Right, that's awesome. And the name Lumiere Lane, where did that come from?
So stands for Edgar and Hernan. It's both of our initials. I also speak French fluently. Je peux parler français très bien. And so we use Lumiere, which means light in French, and then also it's just symbolic of our candles, meaning brightening a space up. And then lane represented path or a journey. So to us, Lumiere Lane is just like a path or journey where more warmth and light and love all come together.
That's awesome. I took 4 years of French in high school, so everything you said made no sense to me. I was terrible at the language. I just wanted to make sure I got the full story of it. I wasn't Google translating the wrong thing, but that's awesome. That's a really cool story. So, and it's great. This is when I feel like the interview is really flowing, when you've already answered a ton of my questions in a row here, because I was going to talk about, your relationship with the co-founder Edgar and the idea that sort of led to there, but it all makes sense. From what I read correctly, you guys have pets at home, right?
We do. So we have a 1-year-old cat named Evie. We adopted her about a year ago, and just recently, about a week and a half ago, my partner surprised me with 2 rescue kittens as an early birthday present. So my birthday's next week, so my present came in early, and so we do have three pets in total now.
That's awesome. Evie, like the Pokemon. And also, this
It
is
is.
so cool. And my birthday's on Sunday as well, so we're very close, very close.
Oh, okay. I like that. So we're very Taurus mindset, driven.
Exactly. We're locked in on that. So you have this idea. How did you've gone from this idea stage with the candles, with the scents, into this is what we want to do, and also when did the sort of pet friendly aspect come into the idea?
So I guess my partner Edgar's just a genius when it comes to product development. I'm obsessed with branding and storytelling. So we both kind of just came up with that idea. One evening after our 9 to 5 job, we had just finished eating dinner, and my partner was lighting up some candles, and he looked at me and said we should just start our own business, and from there it just took off. We spent the whole night just discussing what our name should be, just what type of home good products we wanted to sell. And also like we knew at that time we didn't have pets, but I absolutely love animals, so I wanted to make it like imperative that the product itself was like pet friendly, like all the scents and all the products used to make the candles and the waxes and the aromatic sprays. So that was one of my big priorities. And now that we do have pets, it's like I love to turn on candles. Like we're trying to figure out how to like create like a candle specifically that like, you know, that the cats won't like get near and like catch on fire with it. But like that's our next thing that we're looking at and developing. But for now, it's just more of like the actual scents and products that go into the candles themselves. So if any pets do like come in contact with our candles or waxes, it won't be toxic for them. So that's where that came from.
That's great. And I love this idea, you know, the pet safe home fragrances, because not a lot of people realize that scented candles are, you know, very dangerous and can lead to like respiratory related issues for cats and dogs, or whatever pet you have at home. And my girlfriend, she has like 3 cats, and one of them has asthma now. And she asked the vet, like, what can cause this? Like, I don't even understand. I didn't know cats can even get asthma. And it's scented candles and perfumes. And she works like also in the fragrance industry. She works at a perfume shop. So she's like, I feel really bad now. And I'm like, well, you know, there's a good company. There's a good product coming out soon. So what were some of the first steps? You know, you mentioned Edgar having this business idea and this business background, and you're both very experienced in the entrepreneur of the world. What were some of the first steps that you took into the ideas of production? You know, what methods of study did you use? How did you first go from this is an idea to this is how we're going to make a product?
So we did do tons of research and tested out a lot of formulas, and just even like started formulating our own scent blends. There was just a ton of research that was done on the back end. Just plus learning how to like scale production, manage like inventory. That was all pretty challenging as well. And then we just leaned into our community and some of our friends who are business owners. So we asked a ton of questions along the way, just from like the beginning stages of how to form an LLC to like doing research and on like specific products and vendors and whatnot. So we definitely tapped into our community, some of our business oriented friends, and also just Google and YouTube and ChatGPT were our best friends. Even to this day, like I rely on YouTube videos to see a lot of those how-to or any question that I may have. I tend to utilize those resources and tools.
I love that, you know, you didn't say you're reading like Einstein's law of physics or anything like that. You know, it's nothing too fancy. And it's also something I hear from a lot of our guests is like YouTube is such a great commodity. It's one of the best researching sites possible. It's really fantastic. I do the same thing. And, you know, I'm sure it's been a majority positive process, but you did mention some of those challenges. Can you talk about, you know, some of those challenges and just sort of the fear with starting a business? It can often be risky, but how did you overcome those nerves?
I can share a story with like an initial product that we launched. So we did have a scent initially that we overproduced, like a scent, and my partner and I like fell in love with it. But we did take a loss of like thousands of dollars from that failure, and it taught us to just, you know, test in small batches and not to take things too personally either. It also allowed us to just lean into like our customers and hear from their end like what they like and dislike, and take that information back and be able to refine our products and just change like altogether any products that might not be good for our business.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And especially, you know, as you mentioned, it's something that you're passionate about, not only like from personally with the passion project, but you fell in love with the scent. That's a really interesting perspective. I'd really love to hear, honestly, I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. I mean, what was the scent? Why was it so nice?
So it was a eucalyptus style scent, and we ended up adding like some peppermint like notes to it. And we just received a lot of like ton of feedback that it was like too Christmassy. It kind of resembled like toothpaste in a way. So and my partner and I, like, we love that scent. Like when we were formulating those aromas, like we were thinking like this is gonna be a top seller. But You know, sometimes we do need to listen to our audience, our customers, and they know best, like, you know, what their preferences and what their likes are. So that was definitely a lesson learned, but it was a eucalyptus style scent mixed with like peppermint, and the best way I can explain it, it's just like a toothpaste type of scent, or like a peppermint bark or something like that.
You know, I would have bought it. I like that kind of smell. So let them crush your dreams, man. So talk to me about this world of production. You know, how is it meeting with manufacturers, or do you do it by hand? I'm just curious to know. We hear about all these production companies and like these manufacturing companies that people have worked with in the past on the show, and a lot of them started by hand. Can you talk about the startup process journey of that, and then where it is today?
Searching for like the right vendor was definitely tricky, like a challenge in itself. We did take a lot of research. My partner just has a ton of connections, and him in particular has a lot more friends who are business owners. So we just tapped into that community. They were able to share some really good vendors when it comes to home good products that are like top notch, like almost in a competition with like Bath and Body Works and those really like high end type of home good products. So we did a lot of our research, but primarily was like making those connections with other business partners and with our aligning with like other business friends that were able to share those vendor like contact information.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. And you know, from what I've read and from what I've like seen on the website, the products aren't purchasable at this exact moment. Like there's sort of it's out. But I'm curious, I think it's fascinating because you also have, you know, semi-recently started this business. I'm curious to know what it's like to have these sorts of up periods and down periods when you're first starting your own, you know, entrepreneurial journey. Can you talk about what it's like when you're not exactly selling something for sale right now versus when you are, and sort of the different levels of stress and what comes with that process?
You know, initially there has to definitely go a lot of planning into it, and you know that's definitely like something on the back end the entire time when selling products in general. Like, you know, there will be off seasons and times where, you know, we won't see a lot of surplus when it comes to selling our products, but we've definitely come to be more strategic too on the types of months and specifically like days when our customers are more like they would purchase our products during those specific times or time frames. So we have been a little more strategic about like selling like on the weekends when we go to open air markets when everyone's out and about, or like on Thursdays close to the weekends. Yeah, we just at the beginning it was definitely difficult, you know, not seeing so much of our products being sold, but just being patient.
All right, perfect. That makes a lot of sense. And you know, what are some of the other unexpected challenges or surprises that sort of came with starting this business? You talk about these off seasons and, you know, customer satisfaction with like certain scents. Can you talk to me about what was expected and what wasn't expected when it comes to challenges within this field?
Just, I guess, from like the very beginning of starting an LLC or a company itself, doing the research and doing like the initial work of starting the paperwork and how to go about doing all of that. I think that's very daunting, and just that thought pushes I guess it's a big turnoff for most. So that's why not a lot of people will follow through with some of the ideas, or if they want to become first-time business owners, like that itself, like the initial stage is like the more daunting. But I think like once, you know, you have everything up and running and you do lead into like I said, like to your community and do your research, and you know you do have that initial stage, you know, that the groundwork completed. I think it's a lot easier, and then you kind of see the purpose behind it and why you're starting this. So I think it's the initial stages.
I love that. And I love the word purpose that you use there. That's something that comes up a lot with our entrepreneurs. It's really fascinating. So, you know, talk to me more about the scents, right? So you mentioned the pet safety part, and I'm also curious as to how that actually, you know, works. Like, what are the specific ingredients that go into these fragrances that make them pet safe?
So we do use a lot of organic, like when it comes to wax, also the types of scents and florals, and you know, we take into consideration like there are a ton of plants and flowers that a lot of pets are allergic to. So We try to stay away and navigate away from those type of scents in general. So then just being more organic when it comes to our products, even down to like the ingredient of the wax itself, but then also just being mindful of the, like I said, like the plant and the floral scents that we use in our products as well.
Right. And it's obvious that, you've done the research, you've spent the time looking into this, because it's the most important part, really. Things can smell nice, but there's a million candles that smell nice. And I think that's what really makes your product unique. And I love that. And you mentioned earlier, the importance of research, but I'm curious to know, like, how much time did you spend, before this idea really became a business? How much time did you really spend researching and ensuring that you're going to provide what you promised?
So it did take us quite a few months initially to just brainstorm, to meet with our, our friends who are business owners and other community members out in, business out in the community, to be able to tap into that. But it did take several, I might want to say several months, close to a year, if not, from the initial date of us like having the idea to starting like that LLC and then doing the research itself. So it was a fairly long process, if I'm completely honest, to be able to do like that quantitative like data, to the research and pull that data to be able to make those insightful decisions when it comes to creating those like, the candles and home good products that are also pet friendly.
Yeah, I love that. And I love how honest you were with the patience and the amount of time that it realistically takes to get something like this started up. Because a lot of people think, oh, I have this genius idea, I'm gonna go pitch it, I'm gonna be on Shark Tank, I'm gonna have like this great, very fast process of starting up. But especially during COVID as well, it must have taken so much time and patience, which I guess is like a blessing and a curse at the same time, because you couldn't exactly start, but you've had a lot more time to do this research. So can you break down, I know we've talked about the home fragrances and the candles. Can you also talk about some of the other products that you provide on the website? Because I also saw a link on the website just for general pet products. And I'm just kind of curious to know like what's in store, like some of the specifics.
Other than the candles, as I mentioned, like we do have candle wax melts and also aromatic sprays. And we are trying to branch out into like the pet goods and be able to provide like blankets and the little bedding and just like the food and water bowls and those type of like products. That's kind of like what we have in mind for the near future.
That's awesome. That's so cool, because it starts off as like this candle idea, and then it can just bloom into something so much more. It's so cool. So how did you go, into this advertising campaign? I really like the look of the website, and I'm sort of curious to know, did you design that? Was that something that we outsourced? And then also, like, how do the advertisements for Lumiere Lane look?
I felt for the past 15 years, I've worked in the education field, so I do tend to be more of like the creative person when it comes to, when it comes to our own business. So I definitely tap into like my teacher. I use my teacher hat many of the times when I was creating these, just like the post and laying out the website and developing the website itself. I was the one responsible of developing it. So yeah, I guess it's just more tapping into like my teacher background, and just that creative side of myself. And then when it comes to ads and just kind of being relevant with a lot of what's like the what's current nowadays. So also being tapping into all of the social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. So just ensuring that we're visible all across.
Right, that makes a lot of sense, and it just like totally caught my eye. Like I just want to give you like a your props there. It was very, very pleasing to like look at. It was so cool, very easy to navigate. And I also love how you mentioned this teaching and creative background, because that's not something that I would necessarily connect with sort of a fragrance business. So I think it's really fascinating that you can take something that at the one glance would seem unrelated, but has helped you in so many ways, it seems. That's awesome. Can you talk a little bit more about that, how you find yourself using this creative, background and using it in this current business idea?
Well, I do say to anyone that I come across, like working as a middle school educator, like that prepares you for absolutely anything in life. Having to like just work with middle school students in general, it's very fulfilling profession, but it has its challenges. So definitely just having, being to constantly like have engaging instruction and collaborating with like external stakeholders and collaborating with like district leaders and administration and other colleagues, other teachers. So I definitely tap into that when I'm, dealing with vendors or, creating our website or pushing out anything on social media, like using Canva. Like that's been one of my go-to platforms that I use to create a lot of the like visuals. And I utilized that like way back when I was teaching. So those are some of the examples that I bring from like the classroom to Lumiere Lane.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, I didn't even consider that, working with middle schoolers. I mean, you should run for some sort of like political office or something. You can handle anything at this point.
Right.
So if you could really think back on it, I mean, this has been a long journey, from COVID to 2025 now. What have been some of your biggest wins so far in business, where you look back and you find that to be, just some of the highest highs in this journey you've had so far?
So just being like first generation Mexican American, being the product of two immigrant parents, like they came to the United States with that hope of having, providing like a better opportunities for their children. So then that mentality has always stuck in, making just is starting a business. Like I think that has been like a homage to like my family for all their sacrifices and hard work and being able to accomplish that. So, definitely starting the LLC itself, I think that was a huge accomplishment.
I love that. I mean, yeah, that's something I had written down as like a big maybe question, because, sometimes people aren't exactly comfortable speaking on it, but just being two gay Latino men, like in this crazy world of business, like I think there's something really to be said there. And I'm happy you touched on it, because it's such an important thing in this world of business. And it's just, I don't know, it's just like,
no, yeah, absolutely. And then also just we hope to also just be able to inspire other LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs and members of like minority groups and people of color to be able to just start their own businesses and be able to make their dreams a reality, and just show that if we're capable of doing it, like they're also able to make that into a reality.
I love that. That's a great soundbite. That's definitely going to go on the next gen highlight reel. So what are some of the key lessons you've learned about, leadership and running this business? You've mentioned multiple times, leaning on your community and conversating with fellow business people. I'm curious to know, like, what do those conversations look like, and what did you learn from them?
So in terms of leadership, I would say like leadership isn't, I would say isn't like about being like the loudest in the room or about the degree or the position. It's just more about like listening deeply, leaning with empathy, like actually caring about your customers and your team, and also just be able to provide like creating that space for others to shine. And I've also just come to like, find out like just having also a good sense of humor when it comes to leadership, especially like during difficult situations, have really helped out a lot.
So we've talked about, the highest highs, and it's time to go back into some of the lowest lows. How do you handle setbacks from both, a personal standpoint and from a business standpoint? It's, Lumiere Lane is your baby. You created this business. How do you find it, like, personally, whenever there's like a big setback?
I always remind myself, like I ground myself. I do have to sometimes constantly remind myself to also have like a really good balance of like work and life. So being able to do things that I enjoy doing outside of work, to be able to just put myself back in that mindset of like whenever I'm down or there's something difficult going on with the business, to be able to just be clear-minded when it comes to making the tough decisions or having those tough conversations. I do, like, I have my morning routine where I ground myself. I do meditation. I sometimes go on morning hikes, or I just will take creative walks like whenever I can, especially if I'm out in the field and I know like something something's not going right, or a specific vendor doesn't want to, work with us, or just in any case, like when there's ever like a tough situation, just try to do some of those, things that I enjoy doing, or just taking those creative walks to be able to just clear my mind and be just more mindful throughout the day.
So we've talked about, sort of the beginnings of this back in COVID. We're talking about modern Lumiere Lane. Now let's look towards the future. Where do you see Lumiere Lane in the next, 5, 10, etc. years?
Definitely launching more home good products. As I mentioned, like bedding, towels, and pet products. My partner and I have also been discussing and planning of potentially having our own like pop-up stores in our hometown of Riverside, California, and even possibly like starting like a boutique in downtown Los Angeles or in Palm Springs. Those are two of our favorite places to travel. So possibly starting our own pop-up stores in our hometown, and as I mentioned, in Los Angeles and Palm Springs.
Cool. And are there any new products or projects that you're, sort of sneakily behind the scenes working on that you can give us any teasers or spoilers to?
I guess just other than the pet products. So I don't know. I guess just the pet products in general. Like that's the next venture.
We're looking forward to that. That's really cool. And then lastly, what is the ultimate vision, for your brand and your entrepreneurship journey?
Just as I share, like being able to give back to the community, to be a voice within our community, and to just share our story for young entrepreneurs, to share, like, if doesn't matter where you were brought up, or how you look, or who you are, like we all have the possibility of becoming what we want to in this life. And if that's becoming a business owner, then there are definitely those resources and tools out there. So similarly to like Pitch Labs and other really great other nonprofits and organizations that just provide tons of wealth of resources for young entrepreneurs to start those businesses.
Awesome. I love how you give Pitch Labs a little shout out there, to the home team. Shout out Pitch Labs. And these are my last two fun soundbitey questions. You passed over the hump of a difficult thing, so take a breather. It's really nice.
Okay.
So do you have any funny stories sort of regarding your business journey? It could be like anything from the beginning where you look back on, just go, man, I messed that up big time, or even an accidental success. Anything, just like funny stories regarding the business.
I mean, just looking back to the moment, like how it all started. As I shared earlier, when my partner and I had just finished working our 9-to-5, and we had cooked dinner, and we're about to watch Netflix, and he was just starting lighting up a candle, and it all sparked from there. So every time I have that conversation, I can't believe, like I laugh about it because I can't believe it literally sparked from that moment. So that's definitely like a funny moment for me, just seeing like the excitement and like engaging with our customers and hearing like from their end when they come, they approach our booth and they're smelling our products and they're engaging with us, and they come with their pets as well. So it's just awesome to see them like interacting with us. And whenever I get the chance, like I do tend to take my kittens with me too. My one kitten, I started taking her recently a lot more when I travel, so she can also be just engaging with our customers and just showing like, these products are pet friendly, and but just interacting with our customers. Like they're all really hilarious. They all come with like their own funny stories, and they're always wanting to chat and make small talk. And so I think that's also like a really great memory that I have, just engaging with our customers.
That's awesome. I love that. And I love, having this sort of cat with you, just to kind of show like this is what we're about with a pet friendly brand. It's like a little Pokemon next to you. Hopefully it's Eevee.
It is. It really is. And I have her like always like by my shoulder too, and on a leash.
That's classic. And lastly, what is your all-time favorite or most fun moment from your career thus far?
The best moment, or just more fun moment, I would say, just going back to why we're doing this, and also like engaging with our communities and just our customers. I really love hearing everyone's story and And then when I see them, purchasing our products, it just means the world to me, because I know they're going to be able to take a little piece of our light and our story with them back home. And so that definitely means a lot to me. And so I guess that would be the more memorable of the memories. Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I love the community focus of this business, because it's such a small, home good product that you wouldn't really think twice about. Like everyone, just buys candles, Yankee candles, whatever they think of. But I just love the personality and sort of the community that you're garnering around this product for these animal lovers and people that just like good sense in general. And it's a good group of people to have around you. So that's all I really have for you in terms of big question wise today. Do you want to do any, quick shout outs or tell us where we can find some of your amazing products?
So you can check us out at ehlumirelane.com. The website is still under construction, but we definitely also have all of the social media platforms, so Instagram, Facebook. We just started a TikTok, and then we have a LinkedIn page as well.
That's awesome. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Hernan, for taking the time to talk with us today. You really killed it. And I really, really appreciate how thoughtful your answers were. I hope you have a great day, and I wish you the best in all your future endeavors, whether that's Pitch Labs, Lumiere Lane, personal related, anything.